guys, I'm Rebel Chance. Welcome back. I'm here with the owner of Sabermach. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jay and I'm the founder for Sabermach.
Hi Jay, welcome. I have some questions for you if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
And the first question I would like to ask you is how did you come about to found Sabermach?
Okay. So Sabermach is part of our passion. We started this about 3 years ago, wanting to make combat sabers that are not just beautiful to look at, but they are also ergonomic. So if you look at the market around, we kind of like couldn't find something that we really wanted. So the best way to do this was to design our own. And from start to finish, it's about a year and a half journey with all my staff coming together, brainstorming, and then we come up with some pretty amazing products to offer you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I have another question. How difficult is the process of actually realizing a saber for the market?
Well, if you talk about the process, it probably takes about 2 to 3 months from coming from the sketch all the way to a finished product. So what goes into it is probably designs, prototypes back and forth, the weight of the saber, the balance of the saber, and of course because these sabers are combat ready, so they have to stand to the impact and the abuse of the user as well. So this goes through several testing. Once we are happy that it can stand up to the vigorous usage of the saber, that's where we present this saber out to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I really noticed about the sabers, what I really like, is how sleek they are. For example, I see that all the controls are integrated and there's no things sticking out like greeblies or something. Is that something that is really important for you for the hilt designs?
Yeah, so for Sabermach's philosophy is first of all, the saber has to be ergonomic. If you look at all the sabers that we can find on the market, they are either oversized or that they are meant for Americans. But for us as Asians, we have smaller hands. And from what I understand from martial artists, the smaller the hilt, the easier it is to manipulate the handle, the saber itself. So we went into doing that and studying what makes a good saber, what makes a good saber design that you can twirl, you can spin without putting unnecessary strain on your wrist. So if you look at the sports range, this is the Mark 1 that we have. This is the gunmetal hilt color that we have over here. So the smallest diameter over here, this curve, is only about 23, and the thickest is probably about 31.6 millimeter in diameter. So it's really, really small, really, really sleek. Yep. So we try to pack a lot of things in a very small hilt. Yeah.
Awesome. And can you tell me a little bit more about this particular saber that you have in front of us, because it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. So like I said, this is the Mark 1. The feature of this is features a nano biscotti version 3. I know now that they have a version 4, but currently this is still a version 3. So if you realize the saber handle, as you had said earlier, you observed how slim they are. But one of the key things was that when we approach saber groups, is that a lot of the activation switch are actually the AV switch that they have, and then what happens is that they accidentally turn on and off on regular usage during mid-battle. So what we went into doing this was that we actually had the tactile switch hidden, flush against the hilt, so you actually will not accidentally turn it on or off during mid-battle. So I'm just going to go over and just turn on the saber for you. So we are activating the silent mode for the saber. So if you realize this at the pommel, is also the LED.
Yeah, I see that. It's really cool.
So let me just open up this for you. So the windows are revealed. Yeah. So you realize that the sound vent doesn't just come out from the pommel, but also at the side of the saber as well. So it's more like an aesthetic thing, but at the same time it amplifies the volume of the speaker as well, and it beautifies the saber because now the bottom and the top has lights as well. Yeah,
That's
so
really
this is the
nice
basic stuff of the Sabermach.
If I'm not mistaken, this saber sports the Nano Biscotti version 3, as you said, with the auxiliary switch. Does it also has special features? For example, you have it in a mute mode.
Yeah.
Now it has the Nano Biscotti, so it probably has two sound banks.
Yeah, so instead of 2 sound banks, most of the saber enthusiasts, they don't need 2 sound banks. So we mute one of the sound bank, and the other is just a regular one. So it's the same thing. You hold on to the button, let it go. This is the activation for the one with sound. And of course, the saber with sound comes with the flash on flash. Very basic stuff from a Nano Biscotti version 3 that you can see over here.
It looks very bright as well. I really like it.
Yeah, so the blade itself is not the standard US 20, the 1-inch blade. So this is actually a special blade that is sourced out by Sabermach. It's actually a 26 mm diameter. So if you have a 25.6 mm diameter blade, it's going to be loose on this one. But also because of the choice of material we get, it actually has a better balance and better distribution of its lights. If you look at the Sabermach saber, there is very little base flare from the emitter all the way to the tip. Because a lot of time the sabers are very bright at the bottom, so there's a base flare. But in Sabermach saber, we kind of like want to do it a little bit different. Our philosophy is that if that brightness cannot be translated throughout the whole entire blade, then it's not bright enough. So we went about doing the same brightness throughout the whole blade. So you have an evenly lit and uniform blade color for the Sabermach blade.
I have to say, guys, it looks really amazing. It's really nicely lit overall from top to bottom, and super bright as well.
That's right.
I have one more question. So we're standing here in Hong Kong. What is your next big outdoor event?
Yep. So here right now we are together with Crossfire to do this event. So the next one that we are going to have is actually in Singapore, where we come from. They are coming on. They're going to happen on September 9 and 10 on a Saturday and Sunday. It's the biggest toy event in Singapore. It's known as the Singapore Toy Games Comic Convention 2017, or in short STGCC 2017. So we have been active exhibitor for the last 2 years, 2015, 2016, and now of course this year 2017 as well. So it's going to be bigger. It's going to be more packed with new products. Hopefully we are able to roll out some of our new premium saber designs as well. Probably a curved saber or a flat saber. So it's like it's not round, but it's a oval shape kind of look.
Nice.
So we try to look into that.
Okay. So that will probably be on the Singapore event that comes up very soon, right? Will you also announce your new saber design on your Facebook page?
Yes, we will. So like every time whenever we have an event, we like to roll out our new products. So it's like our official launch. So our official launch was in 2015 at the STGCC, and then last year you saw the Darkstorm, the Rector as well, and of course the Sports and the Junior. So this year probably going to be something interesting, probably something different. Hopefully we can bring something that is of quality and something that you have not seen before.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you want to talk about the SSP.
Yes,
You want
please.
to talk about the SSP?
Yeah, yes, please. Yes.
So I thought it was a good point because beyond all the features, I mean all this feature, every sabersmith could have replicated and done that. But what we want to highlight about the Sabermach product is that we have this thing called the SSP, or in short, it's called Saber Surface Protection. So if you understand aluminum, right? So basically, aluminum when it's raw, it is untreated, it will oxidize and tarnish or scratch over time. With regular handling and with the sweat from our palm, it can corrode as well sometimes. So with the Sabermach SSP, all of our sabers are actually protected, not powder coated, because powder coating I can scratch it off, but these are actually anodized. But before that step, we actually send the hilt for our in-house polishing. So it's polished to a mirror shine. There is no sharp edges. You are not going to find a sharp edge on a Sabermach saber.
Yeah, I have to say it's super comfortable. I like these sabers are super smooth, like really comfortable to hold.
Yeah, so we polish them to a mirror shine, and then after that we anodize them, not just the regular red, green and blue or black that you see on the market. We give you colors like titanium, we give you colors like copper, we give you colors like metallic red or Iron Man red, or even right now this one that I have here is a gunmetal. I have a lot of other colors as well. So these are interesting colors for us to explore, and these are anodizing that won't scratch off over time. I mean, if you drop it on the floor, it's definitely going to scratch. Yeah. But if you're going to just use cloth handling, if you're going to handle with sweaty palms, the sweatiest palm you have ever, if you have a guy who touches this, 1 year later, you come back, you wipe off that sweat, it's going to retain its shine and its pristine condition as it was.
Oh, that's really fantastic. That's one thing, and definitely, for example, what I notice with my sabers at times is the patina, or the rust or the corrosion of the alloy is really taking away from the looks of the saber, where you get these white dots and it just looks so disgusting.
Yeah, but I mean, some people like it because they can call it weathered, right? So, but over here,
Bad weathering, yeah.
yeah, that's weathering, natural weathering they call it. But over here, the Sabermach saber, you can get natural weathering by dropping it. But the best part is that the parts that you don't drop, the parts that you don't scratch off, they remain the same. So that's really important.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me. I'm really amazed by your sabers. Like, I've could play with a lot of your different designs.
That's right.
I fell in love with one of your sabers, the crossguard. Was really amazing.
That's called a cryotech. That's called a cryotech.
The Cryotech. The Cryotech is really amazing, guys. So you have to check it out. So what I will do is I put the link to the Sabermach store in this YouTube video. You can check it out, and hopefully see you in the next time again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Please subscribe for more weekly videos. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Sponsor the channel at our Patreon page. Stay scummy.